What's going on, guys? Josh here from Momentum Productions, and today I'm going to teach you how to pull manual focus on your gimbal. That's right. And I'm not talking about using the Crane 2's follow focus system, because a lot of us use Sony and Panasonic cameras which aren't compatible with this follow focus yet. Also, if you're using the Crane V2, this tutorial is definitely going to help you out. And yeah, let's get started with the video. Wow. Alrighty then. Hello, Jason. How are you doing today? First of all, we're going to put you into focus. So I'm going to use focus peaking here set on your camera. For those of you who don't know what focus peaking is, it's a great focus assistant tool which highlights the edges of your subjects that are in focus. So definitely use that tool if you're using a manual lens or manual focus. Once you do that and you set your manual focus, unfortunately with Zeiss lenses it doesn't tell you the distance of the focus, so you're just going to have to assume. So set your focus, tell your subject to stay that same distance away from you and the camera throughout the whole entire shot. So we're going to do a little bit of a tracking shot here, and also tell your subject not to walk faster than a given speed. So let's try this out. Jason, let's start walking here. Keep the same distance away from your subject and let's see what happens. Ready? It's a good speed. We can do it a little bit faster even. Same distance away from your subject throughout the whole entire shot. That's how you can keep focus. All right, that's very important. Perfect. All right, so that was one simple way of keeping focus. Another thing that you can do is actually increase the aperture number. So right now I'm shooting at f4. Let's see what happens when we increase the aperture to f11. So let's go ahead and do that. Obviously, your images are going to get a lot darker, so you're going to have to adjust your shutter speed or ISO. So right now, my shutter speed was at 1/200th, which was pretty high. I need to now increase my ISO from 125 to, let's say, about 400, okay? Now it's gonna be a little bit easier for me to keep focus. So let's give it a shot. I'm gonna try and speed up a little bit and get farther away from Jason just to see if this will help out with our focus. All right, action. Going a little bit faster than Jason. As you can see, I still have focus on Jason even though I am a little bit farther away from him than the start of this shot. Cut. Now we can have some fun with the tracking shots here. So what I first like to do is obviously get the focus right on Jason. A good way to tell focus is by looking at the hairs. Yeah, that's right. If the person has long hair like me, it's even better because then you can spot out each individual hair. But Jason likes to rock out that short hair. But it's all good. All right, let's do it. Remember, direct your subject to keep the pace at the same pace. No speeding up, no slowing down. And that goes for you as well. All right, let's give it a shot. Action. Very good. Cut. Now we are going to increase the aperture to f4, or let's say decrease the aperture to f4. All right, so let's open up. We're gonna drop the ISO back to about 125. And let's see what happens to the focus now. It's gonna be a little bit more tricky. We're gonna focus up again. Focus is gonna be a lot more sensitive, and we're gonna get a better shallow depth of field here. All right, Jason, ready? Same pace, please, and action. You can speed up a little bit. Watch what happens when Jason speeds up. He starts becoming a little bit too soft, and then the shot is ruined. So Jason's gonna help me out and be my model for this next shot. We're gonna do a nice orbit. An orbit is another way of just telling a little story about your character or your subject here. So the trick is to have your grid lines on. Your grid lines are going to be your best friend. So my grid lines are on. They're gonna help me center up Jason or your subject. whatever you're shooting, and just take your time surrounding or orbiting your subject here. You want to make sure that you keep the radius of the circle you're orbiting in the same throughout the whole entire shot. That's another trick. Keep the radius the same, keep the subject in frame, and take your time. Never rush the shot. And you're going to get a nice smooth orbit. My hand placement, one on the top, one on the bottom, elbow slightly bent. Elbows are into my sides for extra support. All right, now we are going to do a tracking shot from the front of the subject. For this kind of shot, I recommend that you have a spotter just so you don't run into anybody. But since it's just the two of us, we don't have a spotter. Jason will be my spotter. He'll spot out anybody behind me. I hope he doesn't mess with me. All right, let's do this. Here we go. I'm gonna keep Jason in the center of the frame here. Instead of walking heel to toe, I'm actually walking toe to heel. Complete opposite of what I usually recommend, just because you're walking backwards, so. Now we're coming up on some really steep stairs here. This is a video on its own, but we're gonna cover some quick tips on how to do stairs with the crane. Make sure you tell your subject to take their time when walking down the stairs. Pacing is everything for this shot. I'm only using one hand. I feel like I'm a little bit looser, a little bit more flexible, and more shock resistant when you're using one hand rather than two. I'm not really going heel to toe or toe to heel. I'm actually just being more flat-footed, so my whole entire foot will hit each step at the same time. All right guys, so for this next shot, we're gonna do an inverted shot, an inverted tracking shot of Jason's legs. This is specifically gonna be important for slow motion because since we're kind of walking on water here, we wanna see that dramatic effect of water dripping off of Jason's shoes. So let's see what we can do here. Let's go into an inverted mode. I'm gonna stay at pitch follow because I want the pitch to be leveled. I don't want it to be tilted down or tilted up slightly. And just watch how I circled Jason and watch how I tracked Jason's legs, okay? Let's give it a shot. I'm shooting this first shot at 24, not slow motion, just to show you real time how this will look like, and then we're gonna go into slow motion. All right, Jason, go ahead and walk at a slow pace. Slow pace is important for this kind of shot, not only for pacing, but because it's gonna make it even more dramatic. Now we're gonna get a shot from the front, rolling up my body kind of like a ball, and action. Try to make sure that the line you're shooting on is in the center of the frame. I can't see the display too well because of where the camera's positioned, but I can just assume. Nice. So even though symmetry is important, guys, it can be tough to record it in an area like this because this line here is not actually straight, but it's curving. So try your best to follow the line, but be confident with your camera moves. Don't keep changing position. Stick to a position. All right, that's what's going to differentiate you from an amateur. All right, here we go. We're going to shoot this last shot here in slow motion. So now let's see what 120 can do. So we're going to do a different shot here. We're going to do a semi-orbit. Go ahead and walk forward. There we go. Don't get scared to get wet. So for this shot, we shot it in slow motion. It's kind of like a really dramatic, like music video type shot. You can see every single little drop coming off of Jason's shoes. So Jason, thank you for your shoes, man. Great, 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 great. So keep your pace, don't rush, and keep your body curled up like a ball. Don't keep it straight. You're gonna be more stable if you roll up like a ball. Elbows in. For this shot, I used one arm simply because it's more comfortable, it's more stable. So in inverted mode, when I hold my hand like this, I can actually use my shoulder as kind of a shock absorber, and it will get rid of most of those jitters that we see when we shoot in inverted mode, especially when we're walking fast and heavy-footed. So that's one of the best tips I can give to you when shooting in inverted mode. All right, guys. Jason, my brother, thank you so much for helping me out with this video. He is shooting me right now, and we had an awesome time out here in downtown LA. Great day to shoot. I encourage you guys to go shoot. It's the start of January 2018. It's time to get a whole different mindset. So go out, shoot, get together with some friends, go shoot with them, and boom, keep it up. All right, guys, peace. Jason, get in the shot, bro. Get in the shot. There he is.
What's up, dudes? Josh here, Momentum Productions, and today I'm going to show you how to pull focus on your lens. Now I sound Cut it.